Welcome to another installment of the Fragments of Silicon reviews. Three reviews this week, starting with Iffy Institute. Now, if you're a long-time watcher of the program, you may remember this. Granted, we just did a playthrough of this game a couple of days ago, but in the grand scheme of things, this is not our first rodeo, as this is a game that was offered to us when it was in early access. Now it's like, we give you this game, you cover it, which we did. We covered this game, we estimate about 8 months ago or so, and it was pretty, early. If memory serves. And I think the subsequent video would prove that, the game was pretty early. But the thing that we tackled a couple of days ago is the full version, or rather the completed version. However you want to frame it, it's release candidate, it's the full experience. So how did it stack up? Well, on the one hand, the core experience is still the same as it was 8 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that wasn't going to change. Because...
from what we can tell, they added like 2 more stages.
Mm-hmm. And we covered those 2 stages, and, we have opinions on them. Especially that one stage with the tunnels.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tunnels were not implemented mechanically balanced way.
I believe I made the joke of tunnels OP, please nerf.
Yep.
Yeah. It's because if you haven't watched our multiplayer video from the other day, tunnels basically render you invincible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like...
And your opponent would have to play whack-a-mole with you, basically.
It's like, you can freely hide in the tunnels, and there's not really a way to stop that.
Mm-hmm. Like, you can't place a bomb inside the tunnel, nor can you point anything to go meaningfully into the tunnel, so...
You can also literally hide out in the tunnels, as in you won't be seen if you don't move, so you're camouflaged as well.
In a Bomberman game, that totally will end greatly, yeah.
Yeah, it's like... So, yeah, it's a nice idea. Also, it should be noted that the tunnels were only on that one stage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because the other new stage was the zombie apocalypse.
Yep.
I'm like, and it functions...
Each of the stages has a different hazard and a different
right
timeout thing.
Like, on the lab stage, it was mousetraps, because, mice. And with the post-apocalypse stage, you face the entire zombie horde.
Yeah, and I believe they're either unkillable or take so many bomb that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, point of order is...
I guess we should mention there are other ones, like some of them it's just, like laser beams, and I think one of them has fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I remember that.
It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But, there are 5 stages now, which provides a decent amount of variety, especially since it's not just a skin change. There are appreciable differences between the stages. So that is a plus. It's just, invincible tunnels is a bad thing.
Yep.
Worth noting that even though the game is in a 1.0 state, at this point in time, or whatever version it is now. It's 1.0 or higher. So, the game is still kind of janky. Like, we were having some connection problems. The lobby wasn't showing up. People weren't going to the proper place. That kind of.
Yeah, you kept kind of getting thrown out.
It's more. I didn't go to the victory screen that one time.
Yeah.
It's like, so even though
you were having some connection problems, everybody else, once we got in, like, everybody had some problems, but you had the worst.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, there are still, some major issues for a game that is purportedly out of early access. But it's like, we've seen this before. Even when a game is released, it's still in a poor state. And this game is, is more stable than some other things we've encountered. It's still, it still needs some polish.
Right.
But I don't know if it's going to get that at this point. Like,
well, and something else to note is this is still multiplayer only.
Right. It's like, you can still practice to get an idea of how the game operates. I mean, it's not hard to wrap your head around. It's just Bomberman with different tile sets, really.
I guess, and the big trick is the power-ups, and you can actually angle your bomb.
Well, it's the big one is, the bombs are set to a direction.
Yeah.
So, you hold the up button. In this case, on a controller, the bombs are assigned to the face buttons. So, like hitting the Y button will be up.
You can also, if you have a dual analog stick thing, you can literally use the right stick to place bombs.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a hard control scheme to replicate. It's like, basic point is, the bombs are oriented with on the 4 cardinal directions, and which way you press will dictate the blast.
Yeah, they blow up one square in every direction, but then like way more squares in that one direction.
Yeah, that's the big difference here. That being said, this game isn't a substitute for an actual Bomberman game, because, well, Bomberman games tend to be a lot more polished and have a lot more content. They're just better games than this.
Like, this is fine for, like, a casual night with friends, but, like, that's about it.
Yeah. Because if you don't have any friends to play with, this game is useless, literally useless. Because it's multiplayer only. And since we only, at time of recording, we played, just a couple days ago, there's nobody playing this. Like, literally nobody playing this. We were the only ones there. And nobody interrupted, nobody attempted to come in. No, we saw nobody. Like, this game is ghost town. So you're going to have to supply your own player base as well.
Yeah. Though it does have local multiplayer, at least.
Yes, it does. So, you don't technically have to get, like, 3 other people to buy a copy of this game. But, if you want to play online, that's what you're going to have to do. As far as the graphics go, they're pretty low budget. Your player characters are all famous lab experiments.
From both, real and fiction.
yeah, it's because
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
dinosaurs are not actually lab experiments.
Yeah, Jurassic Park wasn't actually a documentary.
It wasn't. I thought Jeff Goldblum really came back from the dead.
That's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah, what was that? I don't know. Maybe that was in the book. It was a
Yeah.
joke.
Music, honestly, couldn't speak to that because, well, we all played with the sound off. Because
Yeah.
It makes recordings difficult if we have sound on.
but I can't imagine the music being anything too worthwhile. And besides, there is no soundtrack option here. And finally, price. So this game is only $5.99, which means it's cheap. And if you can convince some people to buy in with you, so to speak. It's like even then I couldn't say this game was really worth it because this just the overall experience is so limited.
Yeah, like it really depends on what platform you get it. Is this available on console?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm not seeing anything on like their Twitter or anything, so I think this might be PC only.
I'm like, even so, like Super Bomberman R is a game that exists.
But that's still $40 at time of recording. Like, yeah, if you can...
It's still $40, but you get a very robust experience.
Well,
you get what you pay for.
Yeah, like what I was gonna say. Like, if it comes down to a sale in a while, and these are both like $5-6, go get Bomberman.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'd say you'd be better served just getting like an older Bomberman game.
Yeah.
If you can, then getting this. Like,
I think didn't they have Bombermans on the Virtual Console on Wii U?
Yeah, you could get that there. Yeah. I mean, you could get it on the Wii Virtual Console when that was still a thing. Like, it's like I said, the core experience isn't terrible, but I can't say that it would be worth it either.
Yeah.
Right then. Any final words on Iffy Institute?
It's another one.
Iffy is a good adjective.
It's another one of those games. Okay. It's another one of those games that had kind of an interesting premise because when this originally came out, there was no Bomberman games on Steam. But now that there is, it's kind of being overshadowed by that.
Yeah, it's an okay game, but there's better choices.
Alright, so that'll about do it for Iffy Institute. Be sure to tune in after the break as Golix will be handling another Nintendo Switch review. Riddled Corpses EX.